So today we'll talk about Bhagavad Gita. Have you heard this Bhagavad Gita? No. Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata. Mahabharata is an epic. It is supposed to be 2000 to 5000 years old. Right, in this page number 8. The Bhagavad Gita, Lord's Song, is currently the oldest known Hindu yoga scripture and is also the best known and popular work among all Hindu and yogic literature. It is supposed to be more than 5000 years old, and it's an epic. Mahabharata is an epic. It consists of around more than 100,000 verses. A verse means two lines or 4 lines. Like that, 100,000 verses. In that, 700 verses is called this Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita means which sang by Bhagavan Krishna. So the Krishna is considered as the incarnation of Vishnu. You may be surprised what is this incarnation and how it is possible, all those things. So the basic concept is that an individual is a continuing entity. There is no point of the beginning of an individual, and the individual never come to an end also. It's a continuity. It is a travel from the beginning of the creation, and it ends till the end of the creation, and the creation itself is repeating. So right now, suppose this creation is started once upon a time, and it is going to end in once after quite we do not know when it comes to an end. It ends. So that itself is a block of time in the vast period of endless time. So in endless time, one creation is just a block, and in same way, so many creations happened in this time frame. So this is how it is looked here in these epics and in these scriptures. What I'm talking about is the view of scripture. Scripture means the Vedas. Vedas means the oldest known text in the world is Veda. Veda is a collection of mantras. Mantra means again a particular way of writing in Sanskrit. It's called a mantra. Particular way of writing. So anything in the Veda is called mantra. So it is like when you say the prose or poetry, like that. Whatever the text in the Veda is called mantra. So there are certain mantras you use to chant for increasing mental power, or attaining liberation, or pleasing God. So there are certain mantras like that. For example, you want to please Lord Shiva. Shiva is considered the god of destruction. So basically, the three gods. One is the god of creation, the second one is god of sustenance, and the third one is God of destruction. So for this nature, for this world, at the beginning, some entity is needed to create. So a force behind the creation is the creator. And the creator, once created, he becomes the sustainer. So he sustains whatever created. So the world is created. At the beginning of the creation, he was the creator called Brahma. The term is Brahma. Brahma means the big Brahma. And then the sustainer. God appears in the form of sustainer, and that sustainer is called Vishnu. The term is given there is Vishnu. It's all new term, but it is repeatedly when we hear, it will sink in the mind. So Vishnu. So Brahma, creator, Vishnu, sustainer or protector, or the one who looks after everyone. That's Vishnu. And the third one is, this creation should come to an end. Anything created should come to an end. It is the nature. It is the law of the nature. So the God, when destroys the world, he is called Shiva. So that is how you have three names of the same God. One is Brahma. In the aspect is as a creator, he is looked upon Brahma. And when as a protector and sustainer of the created, then he is called Vishnu. And then the destroyer aspect of the God's aspect of destroying this created world, then he is called Shiva. So according to the nature of one's mind, according to the interest one has, they can worship any of these three gods: Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Usually Brahma is not worshipped. Vishnu and Shiva are worshipped. Vishnu, to protect the world, Vishnu every time, even though nobody can see him, because he does not have a form of his own. So he is called a formless, and a name is given to him with his attributes. So some kind of attributes is attributed to him, and because of that attributes, the various names are given. So there are thousands of names given to Vishnu. So thousands of names given to Shiva also. So thousands of names given to Brahma also. So it is possible that how we can have one or more names, we can have one or two or three or four names or more. Same way, God can have any number of names. It is not limited to one name. According to how the God is presented at a particular time, for a particular reason or for a particular purpose. So whether he is viewed as an entity, comes to protect this particular individual or to give advice to a particular individual, then God is looked upon that way. So whether God will come to this world or not, or the God comes and stays here in this world forever or not, the God is looked upon one who has the endless power and a limitless knowledge, and who is everywhere. So that's what God is. How the God is defined? See, God is defined in such a way that, think about a time when there is no time. Think about a time that itself means what? You cannot think of a time, think of a timeless time. So timeless means there is no time. So time is created. We looked upon this in this way. Time is created and the space is created. When we think about the creation, we forget about these two things, time and space. Everything else, we imagine that it is created in the space and in time. In time. So in time and in space, whatever created is part of the creation, but actual creation means the time is also created and the space is also created. So limitless space means what it is, limitless space. And limitless time, what it is at that limitless time. So, and the objects or the things in that space and time. So these three things you have now. One is space and time and the things. These three things put together, what you call it creation or created world. If that is creation, how many worlds are there? So the view, any ordinary person can view a certain area of this world. Let us say when we see the sea up to 14 kilometers we can see. Or if we look up the sky, we can see few stars there or few galaxies there. Most probably some Milky Way or something, these kinds of galaxies and some dwarfs, some dead stars or bright stars. That's it. And after that, you need extra special these kinds of instruments you need to see what is happening there. So imagine that this one world and above this world there is another world. Is it possible to imagine such a way? Or the extension of this world. It is like a country. Imagine that the extension, actually there is no separate countries in the world. There is only one earth. Somebody fenced his area and said, this is my place. And a group of people fenced that whole area and said, this is our place. And then whole area is covered by a kingdom. Then it says a king, and it says, and it is my kingdom. Now we say it is countries. So there is only one earth. Nobody said that at the time of the creation, world was formed in the form of so many countries. In Europe, in the name, there are so many countries in European Union and some countries in South American countries and North American countries, Asian countries. Not at the time of creation, there was nothing. There was one earth, and we created. It's our own creation that so many countries here. So in that way, we imagine that how many worlds are possible. So let us say minimum 3 worlds. One is the world we have right now. The other one is the upper world. And consider that there is another world which gives you pain. And the upper world gives you pleasure. And here, this world gives you pain and pleasure. So, only 3 types of experience you have. That is painful experience and the happy experience, and both pain and pleasurable, both experience. Yo-yo experience, yo-yo. It's okay, going. So according to your action, you can be here, or if you obtain more virtues, qualities, then you go up. It is an imagination, Just it's nice to imagine. You go up and have all kinds of pleasure, all kinds of happiness. Enjoy there. If you do bad things, the result of your action take you to another world which makes you suffer, pain, pain, pain. Usually you call it hell. So everybody knows this word, three words. One is heaven, one is earth, and the hell. Okay. So this is the basic concept of an individual's movement from one world to another world. Anyone who accepts this movement from the world, from this world, from the earth to the hell, going to the hell or going to the heaven, that means that person accepts the travel of the individual. So that person accepts the existence of the life after death. I think everybody accepts that, right? No? Yes or no? Yeah. It is basic concept. Almost everyone has it. So, in that way, we haven't thought about much about these things, but we generally, without thinking, we accept that after death we may go to heaven or hell, or we may not go at all. We don't care, and that part, whether I go or not, am I doing the right thing or not? That can be a question for every individual. When we shout to someone who is not supposed to be shouted, and when we treat someone who is not to be treated in that way, or when we do something we are supposed not to do that way, then we may have a feeling, some kind of a doubt in our mind or a conflict in our thought, thinking that I should not have done it, I should not have spoken like that. So that way, there is a conflict, there is a possibility of conflict in everybody's mind for his own or her own doing, speaking, etc. Am I doing the right thing or not? For that, how do we know that I am doing the right thing? So how do you know? I have to be taught by someone, or I can imagine that it should be this way. So either I should imagine that this is the right thing, or I have to get information from someone to saying me that it is the right thing. Suppose I hurt someone and I am happy with that. How do you know that I did the wrong thing? For me, if it makes me happy, I think that whatever makes me happy is the right thing. Even if I hurt someone, the other person is in pain, but for me it is a pleasurable act, and if I am thinking that I did the right thing, really I did the right thing? Just because I imagine that it is right thing, it cannot be considered as right thing, and then others say, let us say the government law says, or the police force says, or the elders in the society says, or the society in general says, say, right, you did the wrong thing. Yeah, you did the wrong thing. Others say. So how they know that what I did is right or wrong? How do I know that what I am going to do is right or wrong? How do I know that the other person is going to do the right thing or not after doing that? Don't know. Yeah, that means there is an ignorance about what is right and what is wrong. For that, someone has to teach us. Here, in this epic called the Mahabharata, 4,000 years or 5,000 years back, it is written there, it is 2,000 years back, but whether it is 2,000 years or 4,000 years or 5,000, it's all same.
Who taught the first person?
Yeah?
Who taught the first
Yeah,
person?
that is Veda. It is. We consider it Veda. So at the beginning of the creation itself, God given this Veda. It is just accepted in that way. So Arjuna, one of the prince there, is forced to fight with his cousin brothers. That was the story behind this Gita. It says that it's a beautiful story of conversation between one of the gods of Hinduism, Krishna, and a prince named Arjuna. The plot, ironically enough, takes place on a battlefield. This location is often interpreted as a metaphor for the many distractions present in our turbulent world, which later on becomes the main foundation of yoga meditations. Prince Arjuna had put himself in a difficult position where he must fight members of his family and friends. So the story is like this. There was two group of people, brothers, cousin brothers. So elder brother's sons and younger brother's sons, they both claim the throne of the country. So they want, the king, the first there was a king called Dhritarashtra, and he was, later he was replaced by his younger brother Pandu, and Pandu died and Dhritarashtra remained. So elder brother and younger brother died and elder brother remained. So elder brother has had 100 sons and one daughter. So 101 total. The younger one had 5 sons. They are called Pandavas. The other ones are called Kauravas. So two group of children. The elder brother's son Kauravas and the younger brother's children Pandavas. So you know now two groups, Kauravas and Pandavas. So both claimed the kingdom, and finally they cannot settle with words. So they tried their best, others also tried their best, but finally they decide to fight and sort it out. So the battlefield is all ready, and there is a Krishna. Krishna is the incarnation of Vishnu. The Vishnu, you know, Vishnu. Yeah, Vishnu is the sustainer. God who sustains this world. His name is Vishnu. And Vishnu, whenever there is a demand, he comes to the world for that particular reason, for helping that time for whom he considered that help is needed. So Vishnu, in the form of Krishna, is known as Krishna. Krishna came to this world, and he also born as a child and lived there and he is this Pandava's friend and a relative also. So Krishna decided to help Arjuna, the Pandavas group. And the fight is almost going to happen, and Krishna, as a chariot, he decided to help Arjuna to be his driver for his chariot. That is the story. Now, I will read some lines. The appearance of Krishna and Arjuna in the battlefield. Shall I read? Okay. Supreme Lord Krishna, his thick hair is adorned with peacock feathers, with shining and glistening eyes, pretty forehead with sandal paste, eyes with beautiful eyelashes, attractive face with well-shaped nose, shining ear studs worn on his pretty ears, slightly parted cherry red lips, chest made beautiful with dazzling necklace. Krishna is the charioteer of Arjuna. Holding the reins of the horses in left hand and a whip in his right hand, Krishna leads the chariot as per Arjuna's wish. As they enter the battlefield with the two armies arrayed on either side, Pandavas and their army on one side, Kauravas and their army on opposite side, Arjuna pleaded to Krishna, please take the chariot to the center of the battlefield between the two armies, so that I can see all the warriors. Krishna rode the chariot to the middle of the two armies. Seeing his dear ones on both sides in the battlefield, Arjuna was filled with compassion and broke down and cried, I cannot fight and kill my relatives. I do not want to rule the kingdom after killing my cousins, teachers, uncles, and grandfathers. Even if they kill me, I do not want the kingdom. Let them kill me, I will not fight. Having said this, Arjuna cast aside his bow and arrow and sat down on the seat of the chariot. Seeing the pathetic condition of Arjuna, Krishna smiles and said, Krishna gives Arjuna the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. He explains the eternal nature of the soul and gives guidance for how to face the realities. There was never a time when I, you, or these kings did not exist, nor shall anyone ever cease to exist. The Atma pervades the whole universe. Atma means soul, the reality. Pervades the whole universe and is indestructible. The Atma doesn't kill anyone and no one can kill the Atma. The Atma is neither born nor does it die at any time, nor having been it will cease to exist again. It is unborn, eternal, permanent and primeval. The Atma is not destroyed when the body is destroyed. O Arjuna, how can a person who knows that the Atma is indestructible, eternal, unborn and imperishable kill anyone or cause anyone to be killed? Just as a person puts on new garments after discarding the old ones, similarly Atma acquires a new bodies after casting away the old bodies. Remember that one who is born dies and one who dies is reborn. All beings, O Arjuna, are unmanifest before birth and after death. They are manifest between the birth and death only. What is there to grieve about? So you do what is right and what is known to your conscience. Considering also your duty, karma, as a warrior, you should not be a waver, because there is nothing more auspicious for a warrior than a righteous war. Only the fortunate warriors, O Arjuna, get such an opportunity for an unsought war. That is like an open door to heaven. If you will not fight this righteous war, then you will fall in your duty, lose your reputation, and incur sin. Treating pleasure and pain, gain and loss, victory and defeat alike, engage yourself in your duty. By doing your duty, this way you will not incur sin. So control your sense organs with a fixed mind, without desiring for the fruits of action. Go and fight. Sri Krishna grants Arjuna divine vision to see his infinite cosmic form that comprises all the universe. Arjuna sees the entire creation in the body of God of gods with unlimited arms, faces, and stomachs. Remember that I am there in every being, and you must see me in all beings. Everything rests in me as beads strung on a thread. Listening to all this, Arjuna casts off his weakness and gets ready to fight. He prays for Bhagavan's blessings. Arjuna starts fighting. Along with Krishna's help, he becomes victorious. In all houses where this Gita is studied, Bhagavan's presence will be there. May Bhagavan shower his blessings on all beings. That's the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Clear? The points is that when we have a doubt about what to do, then instead of keeping that doubt with ourselves, ask the right person. I have a doubt. Clear that doubt. Here Krishna is the right person for Arjuna because Krishna knows everything. Krishna is God himself, considered God himself. He is the incarnation of God. So God means, what is the definition of God? God must be knows everything, all knowing. Because he should not say that I do not know this. Oh, I made a mistake. So the one who commits mistake cannot be God. So he who never makes a mistake. That means he knows everything. And the one who is almighty, who has the infinite power to do anything or everything. His power is to create this world. He has the power to destroy this world. And he should have the power to do anything he wants. So all powerful, all knowing. And then what? If he sits somewhere and he is not present in everywhere, that is a limitation for him. Spaciously, he is space bound, time bound. So that way, he is limited to one person. He is in heaven. He is not in this world. He cannot be in hell. That means his power is limited to some place and not in other places. He should be everywhere. Then only he will be able to know everything. Then only he has the power to do anything, everything. So he should be here, there, and everywhere. He should be knowing this, that, and everything. That is omniscient, omnipotent entity. And omnipresent also. These three words: omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. God must be having these three qualities. And Krishna is that God, He knows everything. So when we worship God in such a way that think about that God knows everything, so that we don't have to tell Him about ourselves. Oh God, look at my heart. We don't have to say, because He is omnipresent. Omnipresent means you just imagine a place. God must be there also. Then only He is omnipresent. Omnipresent means everywhere. Everywhere means if we say that, is He in my mind? Yes. Omnipresent means that word included that also. In my mind, in my heart, in my thought, in the part of every cell, anywhere. So that's the nature of God. So how this God decided to come and teach Arjuna? That's the question. So God comes anytime if we call Him, in the form of the help you need at that time. So he will not a person who thinks himself as great and all others are small and insignificant. No, he says that I am in your heart. Just call me, I will be there. So you don't have to worry about where he will be. So think about that. God is always in the heart. Where is that heart? Do you have a heart? Where is that heart? It is not physical heart. It is the heart where the thought arises. That's the heart. A physical heart is part of physical body. The physical body is just a chariot for you to remain. So it is like a vehicle. Your body is like a vehicle. It is not like a vehicle, it's a vehicle. So that legs are your wheels. So you move from one place to another. You continuously moving. Or if you cannot move, you roll like a snake. Every living being has a way of moving. So it's in that sense, it is like a vehicle. And the one who gets in this vehicle and he rides on this vehicle for some time, maybe for 1 year or 5 years or 50 years, like that, any number of years. We do not know how long he will be there. And after that, he gets down. He leaves this body. And someone else cannot enter in that. That is the only particular thing about this. Our vehicle is that once we get out of this vehicle, no one can get in that. It is not a public transport system. It is private, especially made for you, made for this individual. Okay, the vehicle. Is it just a vehicle only? It is not just a vehicle. It's a dress. The body itself is like a dress. You don't have a dress. So a dress is given to you, a beautiful dress. So in that dress, it just like dress makes the person. You wear the costume of a king. Then who is that person? Who is that person? A king. A costume of a king means when that person appears, you say, king appears. You wear the costume of a policeman. Then who is that person? Policeman. No. You wear the coats and suits of a judge. So you are a judge. So dress makes the person. So you have a human body, means the shape of a human body, that is the shape of the dress, and you are a human being. Is it applicable to other creatures also? Yes, a dog's body, the individual is a dog. The person in that dog's body does not have a choice to become a dog. A person, the individual entity who is inside a human body, does not have the freedom to make the choice that I want to be a human being. Everyone they are pushed into this body. In the body, human body comes out as a human being. Dog's body comes out as a dog. A fish body comes out as a fish. Look at this magical world. Do you agree that what I said? No?
Well, you know,
I have to think.
it's a perspective.
Yeah. It depends upon how do you look at these things.
I mean, you know, an actor could wear a police costume. Does it make him a...
That means the appearance at that time. Appearance. It's not permanent. It's in a play. Each person individually is the same, but dress makes the difference. The one who wears in particular dress, we identify that, oh, here comes the policeman. Like that, we have a human body. It is like a dress, and then we assume that, oh, the other person is a human body. It's a human person. So while walking at night, you hear a sound as though someone is walking behind us. We try to hear the sound. Yes, some kind of noise is there, but we could not identify. We turned and looked, and then also it is darkness, and we cannot figure out who is. How do we know that the following one is a human being or a dog?
The sound of the footsteps.
It's not that much clear. It's a distant sound. But we know that someone is following.
We don't know till we turn.
Till we come to know, till the person comes closer, we do not know. That means it shows that we need a proximity, a closeness to know what is the other person, whether it is a human being or a dog or anything else. So that shows that the existence of the individual, as it is not something known to us, but in which form he appears, then only we comes to know. So the existence of the individual means the life, the principle. Life principle is known to us as it is. So we do not know how the principle of life enters into one's body and how it grows there. We know after getting into the body, then the development of a child we know through the science. But how it enters into a body and how long stays there, and before entering into one's body, where was that? Nothing, we do not know. I'm talking about that once we enter, he gets a body. That body is equal to a dress. So any type of dress is possible. Human body is a dress. That's what Krishna said, like the body is like a dress. You use it, and once that is useless, you leave it and get a new body. That body can be a heavenly body or an earthly body or a body of any living being. So that way, each individual has a possibility of getting any type of body. there is no guarantee that next we will get a particular body, because nobody knows that what body we had earlier, just before this life. No idea. If there is, someone says that, oh, it is not there. It's okay. It's another way of thinking. So, thinking, we have the freedom to think. No, we don't have to accept all those, what I said, you don't have to accept. But the freedom to think. So, if this, yeah,
No, I just got scared.
what?
I heard a noise behind me and I jumped.
Ah,
I was
okay.
standing there.
Nobody is there. No, no. So, no problem.
Sorry.
No. So, the point is that we always think that we have enough freedom. I am free to think. I am free to act. I am free to speak. I am free to choose. Everything is free. I have tremendous freedom with me. That's what I think. But you don't have any freedom to get this human body. It is a choiceless example. Unfortunately, we don't have freedom to die also. We die. We cannot remain also. We die. So coming choiceless, going choiceless. Suppose somebody says that if suicide is also part of the game only. So that is when the time comes, he has to find a way to suicide, to die. So suicide is just a reason, finding a reason. So many reasons are there to die. Even if there is no reason, see, suddenly suppose the doctor says that, everything was successful, but his start stops suddenly. What we can do? So, here it shows that freedom is limited freedom only what we have, not a limitless freedom. So we as or I as an individual is a free person, but my freedom is limited. And how I should treat others? Another question. How should I treat others? I always want to win over others. I want to defeat others. Either make them as my own people, or to defeat or destroy, or to get away from them. So these kinds of things I do. Either my people or not my people. And then if somebody challenges, I want to defeat the person. And I want to go to any extent of defeating the person, destroying the person. Am I doing the right thing? Yes, of course, the society says that you have to fight for your existence, for your prestige, for your earthly everything. You have to fight and get it. So Arjuna is here. Arjuna is also fought for the kingdom and all this pleasurable world, the things. So then what is that confusion he got it? He found that the war cannot be considered a solution for peace. He expected after the war he can be at peace. So why do we fight with others? We are disturbed. We expect that once the fight is over, we will be at peace. So for peace, we fight. No? Yes. Actually, we fight for peace. Yeah, that's it. So, Arjuna, one step further, he thought that how am I going to be at peace when I destroy my own people, my cousin brothers, my friends? They in somehow they are the other side. They are on the other side. They didn't choose to be on their side, but somehow they fall into other side. So this is called destiny. So we are all we are all helplessly, we fall into our own destiny. We do not know what happened is going to this kinds of uncertainty is there. Nobody likes uncertainty. So these are the basic things we face in our life. Even though thinking makes us worried, we do not want to think about that, but philosophy made us to think. But we can do that. This is philosophy. Now, we know the problems. Question is, do you have a solution for this problem or just talking about the problem? You talk too much about the problems. I never imagined that I am separate from my body and I am using this body as a vehicle, or I am separate from my body, I am using this body as a dress. I thought that I and my body are one and the same. When I get up means it is not my vehicle gets up. This I get up means I am 60 pound or 70 kg or 90 kg. I get up. Here, what we say is that I is an entity to be understood properly. I is not as good as the person's body. I is not limited to a person's thoughts. I is not conditioned by a person's knowledge. I is totally a different thing. This is what Krishna said, that Arjuna, you said too much, you think too much, but what you think about yourself, or in quote I, that is not correct, Arjuna. I is something more than that. The truth of I is known to me and I will teach you. The teaching of Bhagavad Gita is the essence of, or the truth of I, or the truth of the individual, nothing else. Who am I? The question. I know myself. I have a card, then it's identity card. That when you say who am I, always we show an identity card. Means a passport. We show who are you? The question is who are you? Then the passport shows. So suppose I don't have any passport, then how do I establish my identity? Then there is a big process, and establish to whom? That's the question. To another person. When you establish your identity to another person, you need a proof. You have to say, I was born here, there, and then and there. Time and place. You have to write there. On this day, at this place. And father's name, mother's name, or guardian's name, or husband's name, or wife's names, or children's name. So many names. It's all linked to you, so that they make so many connections and place you in a particular position and says that, oh, now you are identified. That is for others. So when suppose somebody says that who are you, and now only I am seeing this skeleton. This skeleton. I didn't see at all. suppose when when the others, the question is not from others, or not these kinds of explanation is not for others, for yourself. Just think about yourself as an entity and make the question, who am I? With reference to my body, it can be a female body or a male body. So female or male with reference to body. A doctor or an engineer or a lawyer with reference to my what? My profession. Without any of this attachment, who am I? Who can be that? What can be that? I always take a selfie and see myself. Am I seeing myself? Even if I see the reflection, is it the real face I have? This is just what I say, it is an appearance of the skin at a particular time. That's what the face is. At a particular time, the face, the skin, or the cells of the skin. That's it. That is easy. The cells of the skin appeared in a particular way. After 2 years, after 5 years, after 10 years, the shape is changed. It's continuously changing. It's not all of it change, continuously changing. My face is continuously changing. My body is continuously changing. My thoughts are continuously changing, which is not changing in me. Everything is changing. I get up, I wake up, I get up, and then I do something. I walk here and there, I do something, I read something, I see something, I speak something, and then I fall asleep. It's a rotational work. It's a routine work. Continuously. This is my life is. This is what I am doing for so many years. From the birth onwards, this is what happening. So the question is, actually, suppose I ask to myself, who am I? So when that question is asked, then the philosophy starts. Till then, about philosophy. Once that question asked, then there is an inquiry. There is a curiosity about myself, from where I came, how it is possible that I can be here, not elsewhere. What made me to be here means not today here, but in this world, at this particular time. All those things. It gives an idea of not having freedom. There's no choice for me. That means it shows that I have no choice to choose my parents. I have choice to choose my companion or friend or spouse, all those things. But I don't have choice to choose my children. No choice with regards to parents, no choice with regards to children. So certain areas I have freedom and certain areas I don't have freedom. So here I have to find out more about me. I have to see what are the things hidden in me, what are the secrets in me. So knowing one's own secret is philosophy. Do you like to have that secret? Like to know the secret of yourself? Yes or no? Yes? No? Eh?
It depends what it is.
Eh? That is the philosophy. Okay. So we'll try.